If you watched Miss Universe 2023 a couple days ago, then you would not have missed this moment. It was Harnaaz Sandhu's first appearance on stage, and the Queen owned that stage. This look is so gorgeous, and I'm going to break it down for you. The base makeup looked glowy and fresh, so I'm going to start with a glow serum. This is by Pure by Priyanka. I'm applying a generous amount all over my face and giving myself a good massage until it's absorbed into my skin. I don't know what it is with this formulation. It works like magic on dull, dry, and pigmented skin. You instantly see that glow on your face. It also hydrates your skin without making it look greasy. Just leave it on for about 5 minutes till it's absorbed into your skin before you move to the next step. Over this, I'm going to be using the Rare Beauty Illuminating Primer. As you can see, the glow serum is already absorbed into my skin. The illuminating primer is weightless, it's silicone-free, it's a gel primer enriched with ultra-fine pearls for a lit from within glow, which we can absolutely use for a look like this. And to even out the skin, I'm going to be using a color corrector. This is by Exa, it's the Peach Corrector, and I'm going to mostly focus this under my eyes on my dark circles as well as around my mouth, because that's where I mostly have the hyperpigmentation. I will be spot correcting as well, but very lightly, but mostly focusing it in areas that I mentioned. I'm going to let it sit on my skin for a couple minutes till it's a little bit tacky and dry before I blend it out. That way it gives me more coverage. A peach or an orange corrector will work with the blue undertones of your hyperpigmentation, cancel it out and neutralize your skin. So that way when you apply a foundation or concealer over it, it's not going to look ashy or gray. For a flawless full coverage but a skin-like finish, I'm going to be using the Makeup Forever HD Skin Foundation, and I'm in the shade 2R24. For reference, I'm a MAC NC35, so this is a good match to my skin tone. I'm going to dot it with my finger around my face and neck, and I'm going to use a flat top kabuki brush to blend it out, avoiding my under eye area because I've already used a color corrector there. Next, I'm going to be using a concealer. Now, if you also apply a foundation, you're layering it too much there and that might look cakey. So all we need is just enough product. Makeup is for enhancing your natural features, your natural skin. It's not to make you look cakey or look different. Using the new Ofra Absolute Cover Concealer in the shade Deep Cocoa, I'm going to contour my face to add dimension. I'm mostly going to use this in the circumference of my face, in the hollows of my cheekbones, in my jawline to chisel it, as well as to add some structure to my nose. To blend the contour out, I'm using the same kabuki brush that I used for my foundation. And the reason I like to use the same brush is there's always residue of the previous product left in that brush. And when you use the same brush for different products, it's going to mix with that product and give you a seamless, clean blend. If you use a new brush or a new tool for every product that you apply on your face, you have to put in that extra effort to blend it out. But when you use the same tool, that job becomes so much more easier. She also has a peach toned blush, so I'm going to be using the Rare Beauty blush in Love. This is very pigmented, as it is with every Rare Beauty product. So I'm going to use a little bit on the highest points of my cheekbones, and then I'm going to blend it out with a damp sponge. She also had a visibly highlighted look. Her under eyes was so bright and beautiful. So I'm going to be using the Milani concealer in the shade 135, which is about 4 shades lighter than my skin tone, to highlight in the same areas. So I'm going to be using it under my eyes, in my T-zone, as well as jawline. And again, using the damp sponge, I'm going to blend everything out. And while we are blending this out, I'd love to know, did you watch Miss Universe and who were you rooting for? I'd love to know, so comment below and let me know. Using the Derma Blend setting powder, I'm going to set in areas only where I applied the concealer, definitely under my eye, around my mouth and nostril, and that's pretty much it. And then I'm going to use a large powder brush and dab it around without any powder. That way it doesn't look like I've just applied powder in the T-zone, and it blends beautifully in the other parts of my face as well. But again, I'm not using any extra powder because we are going for that glowy, dewy, skin-like finish. Speaking of which, I'm going to be using the Milani Supercharged Face Mist. This is going to melt all the powders on the face and give you more of a skin-like finish. This is just a face mist. It's not a setting spray. I'm going to be using the setting spray at the very end. Now for my brows, I'm going to be using the Hourglass Arch Brow Micro Sculpting Pencil, and I'm using the shade Soft Brunette. I had lightened my brows to recreate Selena Gomez's look from the Golden Globes. So I had bleached it with Sally Hansen bleach. And luckily, Harnaaz has lighter brows. Although she has thick brows, they're lighter. So this definitely helps. And as always, I'm going to just be filling in the sparse areas in the top and bottom portion of my brows and just giving it some shape. Also, they look more extended in the inner part, so I'm going to be drawing some extra hair there. And then using the Milani concealer, I'm going to clean up both in the lower as well as top portion of my brows. I never really clean up on the top part, but because her brows are so clean, I'm doing it today. And the brush that I'm using is a small flat shader brush. If you're looking for a really good quality brush set that'll last you a lifetime and is not too expensive, I highly recommend Doe Color brushes. I'm going to link it for you. For eye makeup, what she had was a dark charcoal smoky eye. And to create it, I'm going to first use an eye pencil. This is by Pixie. You can use any eye pencil that you have. I'm going to go ahead and tight line first. And then I'm going to take it with my finger and smudge it on my lid. So that's going to be the base for the eyeshadow. This is not going to be a black smoky eye. It's a charcoal smoky eye. So I'm not too worried about making the base too dark. And then using a flat fluffy brush, I'm going to blend out the edges. So blending with other eyeshadows becomes easier later on. I'm also going to scribble that pencil in my lower lash line. It doesn't have to be neat because we're going to be smudging it anyway. For eyeshadows, I'm going to be using the Lorac Pro palette. This is the Meraki palette. All I need is a charcoal or a black shade and a brown shade. So you can use any neutral eyeshadow palette that you have. Using this charcoal shade, I'm going to saturate my lid. So I've already used the base. I'm just going to use this eyeshadow over it. And then I'm going to be using this brown eyeshadow as my transition. So first I'm going to be using it at the crease with a blending brush. Blending it so it blends into the dark charcoal eyeshadow and melts it into my skin tone. And then I'm also going to smoke it out in my lower lash line using the definer brush. I'm going to use this beautiful metallic shade as my highlighter to highlight my brow bones as well as inner corner. For eyeliner, I'm going to be using Tarte. Using the liquid liner side, I'm going to pull out a small wing and line my top lash line. Although it looks pretty shiny now, it's going to dry out matte. And then using the charcoal shade, I'm going to smoke it out by stamping it closer to my lashes just to make my lash line look thicker. Time to finish up, so I'm going to first curl my lashes. This is the Sally Hansen curler. And for mascara, I'm going to be using the Tarte Tartelette Tubing Mascara. I'm going to be using it both in my top as well as bottom lashes. For eyelashes, I'm going to be using Rich AF by Tati Lashes. And here is the finished dark charcoal smoky eye that she had with just two eyeshadows. So one goes on the lid, which is the darker charcoal shade, and one for transition. And then you highlight and finish up. Let's finish up before we reveal the completed look. I'm going to first use the Ofra X Smitha Deepak Flash Highlighter to add a little bit more glow to my face. To get a subtle glow, I'm going to be using it very lightly, and for that reason I'm using a large blending brush so it settles beautifully on the skin. And if you didn't know, Ofra highlighters are a cream to powder formula, so they settle beautifully on the skin. They don't look powdery at all. There's also a discount code in the description box in case you plan to buy this. On my lips, I'm going to first start with the NYX lip pencil in Ever. She had a beautiful nude pink glossy lip, so I'm going to start with this in the borders. And then I'm going to be filling my lips in with a mauve moment. This is by Juvia's Place. It's a beautiful pink. It's the kind of pink that'll just enhance your natural lip color. And for that glazed lip look, I'm going to be using the Vinyl Link. This is by Maybelline in the shade 40. Here's the completed look, but this look is still incomplete without the hairdo. So I'm going to be using my Medina curler and straightener. This has both in it. When you press the C, the curler opens up, and when you press the S on the other side, the straightener opens up. So I'm going to warm this up. To add those soft curls, I'm going to be using the curler side. I'm going to first section out the front portion of my hair. And then I'm going to show you two different ways to curl your hair with a curler. One is you point the curler downwards, so it's facing downwards, and then you take a section of your hair and wrap it around it away from your face. Hold it there for about 5 to 7 seconds before you release it, and you get those loose curls. I'm going to put that aside before I take another section of hair, and now I'm going to show you another way to curl your hair. All you have to do is open up that curler clamp and make sure you rotate your curler so all the hair goes around the curler. And then close the clamp again, hold it for about 5 to 7 seconds before you release it. That's pretty much it. Keep that aside, take another section of hair and repeat it all over. I do it this way. Some people do it the other way around. They like to take all their hair up and release small sections of hair, and as they curl it, they let it loose. You can do either or, whatever you're comfortable with. I believe this is either a 3/4 or a 1 inch, or could be even 1 1/4 inch curler. I'm going to link all the products for you. But the bottom line is, when you want smaller curls and more tighter curls, use a thinner wand. And when you want more loose curls, use a thicker wand. And now for the front portion, I like to work on the front portion at the end because it just looks better that way. But you don't have to do this. You can do it in the beginning as well. I'm going to repeat the same thing. I'm just curling it away from my face on both sides. I like to loosen up the curls just a tad bit. That way it looks more bouncy. And then I'm going to attach my tika. One thing that really stood out when Harnaaz walked on stage is that glowy neck. She had shimmer on her neck. It was so sparkly and beautiful. The way I'm going to do it is, first I'm using the Benefit Professional Super Setter setting spray. You can use any mist or setting spray. And then over it, I'm using this beautiful shimmer shade from the palette. And I'm going to apply it with a blending brush over my neck. And here is the finished look, my friends. I love the way this turned out, and it's been a minute since I created an Indian look or a Bollywood look. I absolutely love it. I'd love to know your thoughts, so please comment below and let me know. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to thumbs up. If you'd like to follow me on social media, those links are listed in the description box right below this video. If you recreate this look or plan to recreate, please don't forget to tag me. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I love you guys so much, and I will see you soon with a brand new one. Bye guys.